Hello and welcome to the big thing to mention. It has been another week, hasn't it, gamers? We have gathered here to talk about the latest gaming news and what we've been playing. And I am joined by our online co-hosts, KZ Excellent from kzexcellent.com.
I like bottled drinks.
And Mr. Feel from Mr. Feel's Wild Ride.
He switched because Dan beat him for opening cans.
I mean, I can just close the bottle up to the mic. I could do it.
Thank you for joining us for the last episode ever recorded of Big Thing to Mention. Also, Bob's here.
No!
Are you doing the bottle cap challenge right now, KZ?
Yeah, that was the sound of him doing a roundhouse kick.
Oh, cool.
Of course, when KZ does a roundhouse kick, he just turns in his office chair. He just lets it do the work.
Hold on, I'll do that.
He's gonna knock over his fucking audio interface and we're gonna be fucked.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. I bumped. We're good. I pinballed for a moment, but we've lived.
I'm really glad that you haven't died in a room with no visceral threat other than yourself. I'm very pleased.
At least if KZ somehow breaks his own neck in his room and is like dying on his floor, life slowly fading, he can look up at that OLED.
Yeah! Blood.
He looks up at it, and it's playing a trailer for The Lion King. Cursed.
Better than a trailer for Jay and Silent Bob 2.
No. I think Cats was the worst one.
Nah, I'm gonna have to say Lion King's the worst. Bob, what's your vote on this?
Probably Lion King. That or Jay and Silent Bob. That Jay and Silent Bob trailer was painful.
Just looking at that Cats one unnerves me. So if there was no sound even attached, I would go, ew.
See, I would rather be in the mood of why do people like this than what the fuck is wrong with you. We've got plenty of games to talk about. Bob's been playing some Umihara Kawase, or as it's known in English, the Kawase. Bob, how is the Kawase?
I don't think that's right, but Umihara Kawase Fresh is interesting. It's really weird because it seems like it's all just set in one big area, but you do missions that have you go to different parts of it. And
there's not like just stages?
Is this the fishing pole one with the physics?
Yes, it's the fishing pole one with the physics. You show out your fishing line and you like grapple around and have to deal with weird swing mechanics.
Started on Super Nintendo, she has like an elastic fishing line, so you can do some really weird things.
Yeah, and it was a 2D platformer then. Now it's all 3D, right, Bob?
Well, it's 3D graphics on 2D playing, so it's 2.5D. And I feel like this is the first time it actually looks nice, because the last couple of them, they tried to go for this art style, and it's just been like, well, this looks bad.
Yeah, because they had to be like on the Vita or the PSP or the DS.
The
some
3DS,
shit to actually look good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now they got a pretty nice looking style.
I see from the art that they have retained her massive baps.
Yes.
Yeah. A plot twist in the Umihara Kawase universe. She is older now.
How could they? I think she's supposed to be... I have no idea what her age is now, because on Super NES it was like 12 or something.
Right.
And now she is...
Not 12.
Not 12. That's all I know.
Yeah, I think what happened was like, they were like, how do we show... Because they can't make her older in the in-game graphic. It's just a little sprite. So it's like, how do we showcase she's older now? We just give her giant, massive knockers.
That's called plot development?
Yeah. She has like big fisherman pants. It's pretty good.
Oh yeah, galoshes.
Yeah.
It's like how you go watch like a Butch Hartman cartoon. It's like, how do you show that this woman is older? He gave her a giant ass.
Yeah, that's pretty Butch Hartman. Yeah, actually. Bob, Butch Hartman is Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Danny Phantom.
Two shows I have not seen. Got it.
One of them's good.
But yeah, I'm enjoying it, but it seems like it has me retraverse some of the same areas way too much.
I think the Fresh is supposed to be like an open world platformer.
That's their idea, but every mission is still like, this is just a tiny mission. There are big arrows everywhere to show you where to go exactly. I'm wondering if it's going to open up, because right now each mission takes like a minute plus, like under 2 minutes. For the first time ever, they have tutorials for missions, so I know how to fight the final or the boss Like before, I've made it to the boss in these Umahara games and had no idea what to do. But now it makes sense. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
So, have you taken too long at any point and gotten locked into the bad ending?
No, there's no that idea doesn't seem to exist.
That's good.
There's a hunger meter, and you're a chef, so you have to cook food to eat. Otherwise, if you let your hunger drain out, then your life starts draining.
Oh wow!
And then some of the missions are a little bit longer, and they have checkpoints, and you need to like use or set up a camp at them using a backpack item, and that lets you start from there if you die instead of going all the way back to the beginning of the mission. It's weird.
Yeah.
I too went in with the thought, oh, this is going to be them trying to do a Metroidvania open world thing. That's kind of what they advertise it as, and that doesn't feel like that at all. I have to wonder if it just completely changes after I do so many missions.
It might.
Yeah.
Watch, it's gonna be Mercenary Kings. You're gonna have to rerun the same level over and over to get good loot.
You do pick up ingredients constantly, like every time you catch an enemy or catch a projectile the enemy shoots, or just in the environment there's water or nuts sitting around. You collect them so you have more things to cook with.
Oh, well, that's neat.
So yeah, there's lots of mechanics. I hope they're going somewhere, and it's not just these are all here, because that's kind of the feeling I get from some of the older Umahara games. Is like, you've done this. Does this mean anything?
Yeah.
Also, Curly Brace from Cave Story is playable.
Oh,
Curly Brace is cool.
She still has a fishing line.
She has the machine gun.
Mm-hmm.
She actually gets to keep her machine gun in this game.
Yeah.
Which is a little weird and seems to make it changes things a lot. Because
Laughably easy.
a little bit, yeah, because she can even do the thing where she points the machine gun down and like floats a little bit. So you can get longer jumps by doing that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm hoping that the levels take advantage of that going forward, because I've only done one level as her. It was just a tutorial kind of level. But it's hilarious that she still has the fishing line, and then she just has a gun on another button. I went to, like, after playing that, I went back to Umahara just to be like, wait, maybe they gave her something on the other button. No. Which they've done that in the past, where some of the, I think the Vita one or something had a playable character who could freeze time, I think was her power. Like, she was some sort of time cop.
And she throws daggers, huh?
No. At least not as far as I thought.
Oh, well, that's good.
But it's really neat.
So, what is this game? Is it like $40, $60?
It was 30 or 40. I can't remember.
Okay.
I was just like, it's a new Umahara. I'm buying it.
Is it only on Switch?
It's only on Switch. It's only available physically right now. Hopefully they fix that and release the digital one as well.
What?
That's fucking bonkers.
Yeah. There has to have been some problem.
How are they gonna get the core demographic of people who won't leave their fucking houses?
Also,
I'll never play this game.
they'll like, I doubt you'll be able to find it. It came out like last week, and the physical game was a very limited release. So I'm guessing everyone's sold out. Hopefully not.
Fucking awesome. Well, at least it sounds all right. Hopefully it opens up more and makes more sense with what they advertise down the road.
Right. I'm hoping after playing it more that it becomes these mechanics do anything for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm still enjoying it. Like, it's really, the fishing line mechanic of those games is really interesting to me, and that's why I keep coming back to them. There's nothing quite like them.
So I guess if you want to find out if that happens, come back and listen to Big Think Dimension number 28.
Yeah, I'll totally get to play more of it before next week, I swear.
Bob, I'm going to make you play more of it because now I'm curious.
Okay.
Did you play anything else?
No, but I have something that I think is relevant to the podcast that happened
that sounds
the last week.
Okay.
So I don't talk about much on the show, but I go to karate and do that sort of thing.
What Bob is trying to say is Bob is a badass in karate and has a belt that's so black that you can't even perceive it.
He's gonna beat me to death, is what you're saying.
Yes. Are you prepared for the death you've earned, little man?
When's the Patreon?
no!
I mean, when's the Patreon bumper for your videos where Bob is just smashing blocks of ice and boards?
In slow motion in 4K.
But they have the names of his executive producers on it.
We spent more than we've ever made on Patreon on this single month.
Cool.
But Bob, something interesting came out of this that is highly relevant to the podcast, I hear.
I got an email this week invited me to a celebratory dinner at Golden Corral.
What?
A dinner to what?
A celebratory dinner because they're having like a lot of Kyoshis, which are really high-ranking black belts, coming to town to do special classes. And like, oh yeah, come on out to Golden Corral.
I cannot think of a franchise, a food franchise, more diametrically opposed to anything involving exercise than Golden Corral.
Yeah, that's true.
Bob, you can't say no.
I told him that. I'm like, Bob, please let me film it. There's so many karate people in a fucking Golden Corral.
No, I just can't do that.
I used to work in a place right next to the karate place that he speaks of. And this was a while ago now. But occasionally the people who run it, I believe, would just come in and grocery shop in their fucking gi. And it was just a moment every time of the bagger being like, why the fuck are there karate people all over the store? So there's your Golden Corral minute.
Yeah, right?
Yeah!
How does
The
this,
new and improved segment.
the new and improved black belt second degree? So KZ,
I'm so happy for you.
KZ, what have you been playing over the last week?
All right, so in between podcasts, Dragon Quest Builders 2 finally came out. So I started jumping into that.
I wanted to play that.
It looks good, right?
So in the first Dragon Quest Builders, it was basically like a spin-off that's like linked to the first Dragon Quest game, because it has the Dragon Lord, the main villain from that game, and you're a builder, and going through the story, you're trying to build up specific little towns, and you go through story-based quests. They tell you to do stuff like build me this room and put this specific thing in it, and you fight enemies, you unlock new stuff, and when you finished, you would move on to the next chapter where nothing carried over, and it was like a complete clean slate, but you would have a different set of tools, different set of materials to use, and that's kind of how they changed it up. This sequel to that, which is based on Dragon Quest 2, goes way beyond what I expected from the sequel. If anyone's interested in getting into the builder style games, I would say just play this one, because, or at the very least, if you have any desire to play the first one, you probably won't want to after playing this one, because there's a lot of quality of life stuff that they put into it. So, first off, the fact that you carry over stuff from each chapter in this game. You have a big hub area where you're like building it up. You start the game on a ship. After a short sequence with it, you wash up on this island, and they're like, we need to build this up. So you sail to other islands that are like the main chapter of the story, and then you bring over people from that chapter when you're done to the main island, and you get to start building that up. And this main island is also where you can do online co-op with your friends, which is unlocked after you do the first big main chapter. You can like go to this rock, and you can summon other people in, and they can help you. And there's a lot of like goals and extra stuff to do that will give you little achievements. They give you mini medals, which are in all the other Dragon Quest games, and other little rewards.
Yeah, mini medals are delicious.
They are. It seems like they took a lot of influence from Breath of the Wild with this game, because you pick up a lot of mini medals by going to areas that are very much like Korok Seed missions in that game, where it was like, move this rock, or shoot this thing, or you see like 4 rocks that are in a certain formation, but one of them's off, and you position it, and then they go, here's your seed. Same thing here, where you try to match something up, or you break this block down and align it with the others, and then they give you a little mini medal for your trouble. Now, the thing that sets this apart from the first game in terms of quality of life stuff, one, there's a map. Before, you just had a compass. And you can blow the map up, and it's like a cool little 16-bit look to it.
That's really
which
good.
looks really nice. You have full fast travel ability. There are these little crystal balls that you find throughout the zones, and you just tap them, and then you can fast travel at any point.
Can you place your own down? Like your own
it
fast
doesn't
travel
look like it. It looks like it looks like maybe you can in like the free play mode, but I only do the story stuff. And they just had crystal balls like positioned in spots for specific areas in the world. But then you can just open up the map, tap them, and you immediately teleport there. Which is great, because if you go off journeying on your own and you're like, it's nighttime now, I want to go back home, you can just... A couple button presses will throw you back there before you needed like a consumable item to be able to teleport back. So that's a really good change.
Do you still do the swoosh animation where you fly away?
It's actually really quick, so they don't do the swoosh. It's like a janky, like, we jumped in the air real quick in 15 frames, and then we're back here immediately. Like, they work really hard at trying to make everything as fast as possible, because you also have a sprint now. You can just run everywhere. It's based on, like, a stamina meter that you have. But I think that's one of the bigger changes of just the game feels faster, which is great. They've given you a helper as well named Malroth, which is the same name as the villain from Dragon Quest II, but this dude's an anime guy. But he has amnesia, and he's the fighter, whereas you're the builder. So they have sequences where he tries to build stuff, but it just explodes, and he gets really angry.
Yeah, Malroth also is specifically in Dragon Quest II. Is specifically the destroyer who cannot build things.
Yeah, they a lot of the dialogue and stuff goes while you help him learn to build, you increase your destructive powers. So whenever you level up, it's like, for me it says KZ got more health and Malroth got more power. So whenever there are monsters around, he'll jump in and he does a lot more damage as you. You can build better weapons for him. Like, he gets, like, spiked bats and huge great axes, and you have, like, a short sword. Also, whenever you complete certain quests and objectives, you just run up to him and you both do a jumping high five at each other.
Does it, like, freeze frame?
Nobody makes the loudest punch noise, and it's real good.
That sounds really great.
Yeah, that's really good. In general, the writing is fantastic. The story stuff is really fun to do. I've done one entire chapter outside the main island, which had a lot of really good stuff. It's an RPG where you go into this and you go, oh, it's like Minecraft with a Dragon Quest skin. It's like, no, they took the gameplay style of you can build shit with blocks in a block-like world and then made a Dragon Quest game out of that.
Yeah, and I really like the first one for doing that. Like, yeah.
And this feels like the most earned sequel I played in a while, where it takes that foundation and supercharges everything, because you're playing through it. You're like, I love this sprint. I like the map and the fast travel changes. Combat feels better. Another big thing that they changed is there used to be durability on weapons and tools. That's gone. You
nice.
make you make your tool for your sword, and you just have that forever, because what's the point in making another stone sword?
I don't know. It's something that doesn't translate across from Minecraft, I didn't feel. Like, it makes sense in Minecraft, but I don't think it made sense in Dragon Quest Builders.
I don't even know if it really makes sense in Minecraft.
It makes sense in Minecraft because Minecraft is for insane people.
Minecraft is about the simulation, right?
Yeah, it's about the simulation. You know, it's about having all these degrees of simulation in it. And durability is just one part of that.
It really felt like that was something that, well, Minecraft had that, so they did it. And then when they were making 2, they went, well, it doesn't really make sense here. So you get your weapon, you equip it, you just have it. Same goes for your hammer, but your hammer is a part of a set of sub-weapons that your character has. that you just hit one button to execute. It's like R2 to use one of your sub weapons, and then you can hit, I think it's Y, or like whatever your left face button is to switch between them. You have a glove that can pick up any item and then place it. You have your hammer to break through stuff. You have an endless bottle where you can just put water in it and it's just there forever. So there's like an infinite amount, so you could just continue to flood any area because it just doesn't run out of it.
So you kind of stumbled onto something that I like. It was a pressing question. You're playing on Switch?
I have the Switch version.
Okay. That's what I figured, because you're our Switch guy in the field, which is like being the Alex Navarro of GameSpot, where it's just like, Casey, you got to go play all these games that barely run.
All right. Let me tell you about the Switch version. If you launch that game, it takes more than a minute to load.
Absolutely.
It takes over a minute to get to the fucking title screen.
Yeah,
Wait, on
insane.
Switch?
On
Yeah.
Switch.
Mm-hmm.
On Switch. I load it up. I see a loading screen. It bakes for a minute.
How?
And CPU.
I don't know. Koei Tecmo helped with this game. I think they just fucking... they're behind this.
CPU performance is incredibly important to load times, which is why the Switch added that mode where you can spike up the clock rate on the CPU to make load times faster. And it makes me wonder if they even use that mode. Probably not.
They didn't, because of how long that takes. But once you're in, there's not really that much loading you're going to do. I can definitely see the Koei Tecmo influence, by the way, because there are some times where monsters attack, and there's 40 little spider things that all die in like one hit that run toward you. And I'm like, yeah, that's some Dynasty Warriors, like, makes you feel good because you're hitting like 5 or 6 at once.
And then you yell, roar blue dragon, and you swing your hoe around.
Yeah, that feels good. Switch performance is pretty rough. It's definitely the worst version. There are times where I can feel it hitting the 20s.
Yeah.
But it's not unplayable. I made a judgment call of, I have a voucher. This is saving me money. this is objectively $20 less that I'm spending.
You're not wrong. That's valid. Because if I get it on PS4, firstly, I don't own the Pro. Bob does. So I'll have to play the PS4 vanilla. And then two, it's going to be $50 instead of potentially $40.
I watched a PS4 stream and just went, oh man, that frame rate, that looks like it's like approaching 50.
Oh, geez.
Like, I saw them move around and I'm like, oh god, don't look at it anymore. Go back to mine. I can't know.
Did you have anything else you wanted to say about Dragon Quest Builders?
I think it's really good. The fact that everything, like, messing with your tools, like picking stuff up, breaking a block, and attacking, have their own dedicated buttons, makes it so things are a lot less cumbersome. The fact that everyone in your town works with you on building shit is incredible. So it's like when you're doing the farm, you have a bunch of people, like, setting up the soil for you. And you don't actually have to worry about that. And their affection toward the town comes in the form of hearts that explode out of them when good stuff happens, or you like do it, you like do the thing they want, or you just harvested some cabbage and then they just shoot hearts at you that you collect on the ground, and then that like levels up the town. The story actually is really good. Like, they actually have character development in it, and like the writing was really enjoyable, because all the Dragon Quest localizations are like really good.
Yeah.
Like, really well done.
Does it have voice acting?
No voice acting.
I thought it was.
That's just that's I feel like it's the only thing the game would need at this one. But there's also there's a lot of text. Like, I could feel like the pace of the game would slow down way too much if it was all voice acted stuff. I think the last thing. I was gonna say the last big thing that sets this game apart. They give you the glider that Link has in Breath of the Wild. They just give you that in this. It's called the Windbreaker, where you can run, jump, and then just let it loose.
That's pretty hilarious.
It is the best thing in this game because it's so fast.
Oh, yeah?
It's so fast, and you can just cover large areas, and they introduce it in an interesting way of, you need to get to these places that are impossible to get to without being able to float halfway across the map to be high enough to reach these spots. And they just did a tremendous job of moving through this world and using the buttons on the controller just feel natural and not cumbersome at all. So I'm having a great time.
Yeah, in the first game, didn't you have to change your tools out just like on one giant hotbar at the bottom?
Yes.
Okay, I thought that was the case.
Yeah. Like everything just kind of felt like this is more complicated than it needs to be. And here they basically nailed everything.
So I was really bummed out when this game came out earlier this week because I've been busy. Like really busy, and I haven't picked it up yet. So listening to KZ talk about it, I was like, I should finish that video that I need to make, and then I should pick it up. But what platforms is it available on? So I headed on over to Amazon, and Amazon's like, hey, it's on Switch, it's on PS4. But I look below it, and you know that section that says frequently bought together, okay? It had a recommendation. It was like, hey, Dragon Quest Heroes 2 is real cheap. So I clicked that, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then I scroll down again, and it says frequently bought together, and I want you guys to say which one of these three seems like a trap. Okay? The price is $42.61. Okay? The first game, Dragon Quest Heroes 1. The second game, Dragon Quest Heroes 3. The third game, Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness.
Clearly, it's Heroes 1.
Yeah, clearly.
Heroes 1 is kind of rough.
It's a little rough.
Heroes 1, as I fell out, because it's just like, here's a 5-minute... It had what I call the Vita disease, where a game that was on the Vita has fucked pacing, because it falls into that trap of, it's a portable, people won't want to play more than 5 minutes at a time, so the game has to be separated into 5-minute chunks. And then I play for 5 minutes and am in a hub base for 3 minutes, and I'm like, well, fuck this.
Yeah, no, it is kind of structured like that. I just remember checking those games out via our quick plays, and I always wanted to get into them. But nice try, Satan.
Yeah. The fact that this game has parts of it where even the townspeople are building with you is great. Like, towards the end of the first chapter, they introduced it as a concept of build part of this very big thing to teach them how to do it. And then you have 12 people just zooming. And it looks incredible. I'm looking forward to the end game when you likely have a lot bigger structures that you can just tell them to build while you work on other stuff.
So you're saying Phil Spencer might enjoy this game?
Well, he does take a lot of trips to Japan.
Yeah. I mean, they're trying to look for that new studio and all.
Oh, yeah. When they buy Square Enix, that's going to be the announcement.
Oh, my God.
Man, they're going to really top that one Gamescom conference they did where it was the worst thing ever.
Guys, if Microsoft buys Square Enix, and I'm not saying this lightly, I'm just delighted and horrified at the same time. Someone's gonna kill themselves. Someone out there.
They don't have the money.
I mean, you're probably right, but Silicon Valley gives you crazy demonic powers like not needing income.
Yeah, let's have fun with our hypotheticals. But yeah, that's like when people were like, Microsoft's buying EA, it's happening.
Yeah.
God, don't remind me of that. That made me so upset because every fucking brain damaged... If you worked for Polygon or Kotaku or any site that wrote about that, just know you're a fucking idiot. And that's fine. Do the best you can in life, but when you get up in the morning and look in the mirror, just realize you're a moron. If you wrote about that without looking at not a single one of those articles mentioned EA's market cap once.
Yeah, no.
I'd write about it if given the opportunity because I'm sure they got plenty of clicks.
I mean, Phil, they write about video games, not finances. Why would they know what a market cap is?
Why would they do any research into the realities of this thing they're saying might happen at all?
Look, guys, not every article can be the banger that the one from Jason Schreier about the Horizon Zero Dawn custom technology to only render things on screen can be. Only so many articles ever could be as insightful as that one.
It was a miracle technique that we've never seen before, Dan.
Not a fundamental of how fucking rendering works.
We can't all be the article about how this song in Smash has a slur in it because I heard it wrong.
I forgot.
I have a lot of good journalisms.
Oh man. That's we could probably.
It has to be true because Atlas hates the gays.
KZ with the truth bombs from seemingly a mile away from the microphone.
Well, he had to stand back, show his pants at the mic again.
Oh no.
No, I'm sorry. There was a spider. I was scared.
Summer sucks.
Yeah, it's been dealt with. We've won. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Anyway, so KZ, did you play anything else this week?
I finally booted up my Super Nintendo Classic again. Started messing with that and playing the wonders of it. I'm going to be playing Mario RPG this coming Friday, which is would have already happened by now.
Yes.
I ended up switching out the ROM for an altered one that just gives you the Super Famicom look. So all the command buttons are the colored ones instead of the purple and pink. So I thought that'd be neat.
But the two shades of purple are so beautiful.
All right, this is why. This is why, because KZ's psychotic stuff kicked in, where I'm like, well, this 8-bit Do controller I use for this has the Super Famicom colors, so I clearly need to match. Let's go ahead and hack this game and patch it in this way.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then I just played one of the Game Boy Advance Yu-Gi-Oh games on this SNES Classic because magic. And I did that for an entire afternoon. It was a good time.
Man, the heat must be getting to you because like you keep tweeting, I'm watching Yu-Gi-Oh, and now you're like, I'm playing Yu-Gi-Oh, and I'm like, do you just lose your mind when the heat kicks in and you're like, I need Yu-Gi-Oh?
Show me the
This is
bad
what happened.
seasons.
All right.
No, he's weak. I have to convince him.
No.
What? Okay, explain yourselves.
There's this bit in which
I'm trying to get KZ to do a LP of Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's World Championship 2010 Reverse of Arcadia for the DS.
What? What?
That's the title of the game, KZ.
No, that's not happening. At best, you'll get me to do that Switch game. That's the updated Legacy of the Duels one. That's probably the best you're gonna get.
Yeah, but the one I said is an actual JRPG, so it fits into your genre.
You just want Bird to draw me as a Yu-Gi-Oh character.
Yes, that is actually my primary.
I'm sorry, but he's been too busy drawing me as female Byleth from Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Yes, I posted the distressed Eevee, which is how I feel about that.
You refuse to elaborate both publicly on Twitter and privately on the problem.
I think the image said it all.
I don't know, man. I mean, I posted it to you and you just said, Jesus fucking Christ. And I said, what's the problem? And then you never responded.
Bob, have you seen this image?
Of course.
Okay. Just
Yes,
checking.
I saw him like a tweet saying, no, I don't need to say KZ with titties again.
Yeah,
I
that's how
couldn't
I
pick
felt.
the male one. I'm picking the female one so I can fuck the guys.
You could have.
I don't know what the gay options in Fire Emblem are. This is my first one.
They suck shit, by the way. The ones for
See?
the male ones anyway do.
I had to make a judgment call here, and that's what we got. We're sidetracked, but that's all I played this week. I played some Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. Watched the Yu-Gi-Oh GX anime dub. That dub's nuts.
Yes.
Crazy.
Every clip you posted made me lose a little bit of my sanity.
It's time to get Chaz, Dan.
Every clip you posted justified my broad dislike of Yu-Gi-Oh!
It's the bad Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh, I know what. If we do an anime show, oh boy.
I meant the dub. The dub is the bad Yu-Gi-Oh!
Anyway.
Because I just had the I just had the
he's
dub.
dying.
Hey, also, I was thinking about watching Kamen Rider. You want to talk about that too?
No.
Okay.
This podcast network stands for two things. Not talking about wrestling and not talking about Kamen Rider. Anything else is fair game.
Did you say not resting?
Not wrestling.
Oh, okay. Because not resting is also pretty close. Like Bob doing an 8-day week.
Poor Bob.
It's a fun time, you know?
He works very hard for everyone's enjoyment. KZ, I assume you didn't play anything other than that, so we're going to move on to
that's pretty much it.
Feel, what have you been playing?
I finished World of Final Fantasy.
Ooh.
And then the first thing that happened when the credits popped up was creative producer Tetsuya Nomura, and I became scared.
Why is that?
Because I really do think that he might be trying to make the Tetsuya Nomura cinematic universe.
Wouldn't it be a video game universe?
Pedantry, KZ.
I'm not a pedant.
That game was good until the last dungeon, which is the worst, might be the worst dungeon I've ever played in a video game.
I don't remember the last dungeon.
It is made of a series of cubes, and you can walk on the sides of the cubes. And because of this, there is no map, because you're not just walking on one flat surface, you're walking on the sides of things and up and down them. And there are no landmarks whatsoever, so every time and sometimes when you get in a random battle, it will turn you around when you get back to the map. So I'm like, where the fuck am I going?
This kind of reminds me of a Final Fantasy II dungeon. I basically stopped playing this game when I hit.
I ended up having to use treasure chests as landmarks because it's like, okay, that one's open, I'm going the wrong way. And I turn back around. And that's the other thing. It's not like I got lost because there's branching paths. There aren't. It's a straight line. But it's just so samey looking.
Phil got lost on a straight line.
It's just, well, it's one line that fucking has a bunch of turns. It all looks the same because it'll spin you around sometimes. I'm like, where am I going? Which way was I going?
So is it worse than the big bridge?
Yes, because the big bridge is literally just hold straight. The big bridge is literally a straight line. This is like, oh my, and it's so long. It's the longest one.
Yeah. They got the big EX dungeons in that too. I didn't do too much of that.
If not for that dungeon, I would have given that a higher rating, but it lost like almost a full letter grade from that horrible dungeon that made me cry. It also suffers from a little bit of a problem where like they clearly intended the finale to be big and epic, but this game had a low budget and was also on the Vita. So it doesn't really come off like that, and also the last chapter of the game, which is special, let's say.
Yes.
Feels like it happens way too fast.
Yeah. They give you a reason to do a lot of side quests toward the end of the game.
Because it's not like, well, I can't compare it to anything because that'd be spoilers, but also the game's 3 years long, so it's 3 years old, so I'm just not going to do it. But that's an okay game. The other game I played a bunch of was Mario Maker 2. I mean, I'm just doing the story mode. I didn't like go abuse myself on levels or something. I mean, I did do like Endless Challenge a couple times.
You know, it can be argued then that you aren't even playing the same fucking game as us.
Yeah, not everyone goes out and gets handpicked terrible levels.
The levels people send you aren't that bad.
I would like that game infinitely more if they let me queue multiple jobs at once, because it's like my complaint about Dragon Quest Heroes I just made, where I play a 90-second Mario level, you go back to the castle, You get the animation of your coins going into the bank. You get Mario doing his little woohoo hop, and then you have to talk to the job guy and pick another job.
And then scroll through the jobs.
That game, and then there's a loading screen. That game should have let me pick like 4 jobs at least to just all do them in a row.
Yeah,
and then take me back to the castle, because it feels like I'm spending just as much time there as in levels.
It's just it's all of that you described is the reason that I'm not finishing the rest of the levels in it, because I beat the game, I got 100%.
Yeah.
There's still 15 levels that I can do because, given the fact you collect coins in the level on top of your reward, I got more than enough.
Does it do anything to make you feel like you want to use those after?
Why can I not build like a super big boy castle for more coins?
Yeah, there's like no other options besides build the left chunk, build the right chunk, build the middle chunk.
And the left and right chunks aren't even fucking connected to the center.
Yeah, they're not. So I ended up finishing the middle first, and then the right, then the left.
And there's like, they said there's like 150 plus levels.
What?
You have to, yeah. You don't even have to beat half of the levels to beat that game.
Yeah, I only did like 70 maybe.
I think you need around 60.
I enjoyed the levels.
Maybe more, maybe, yeah, I enjoyed the levels, but it's like, give me even the smallest thing to push me towards doing them all. It's like Nintendo has a real fucking problem with this. It's like Nintendo being like, try to get 1 million coins in New Super Mario Brothers 2 on the DS. You know what you get? You know what you get for getting 1 million coins?
A statue or something?
Nothing.
A statue
right?
on the title screen.
Oh, what?
A statue on the title screen. By the way, playing that game through normally gets you like 50,000 coins.
It's weird because at least Mario Odyssey had a couple of things to chase. Like after you beat that game, where it's like get 250 moons, then get 500. I think it's that.
Yeah.
You need 500 moons to unlock the really fun challenge level.
Yeah, like they have.
Just give me a goal.
And then if you get everything, or at least you get as many as the game expects you to get, you can do something to one of the areas as like a reward. But this, it's just you beat it. All right. You can finish the levels if you want. They're right here. There's coins that are useless now.
Yeah, it seems bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it also kind of feels like this is something they whipped up really quickly. Like the levels, that was always going to be there. They were always going to make like 100 plus, like the developers made these. But the story mode is just something where it's like a bit of an afterthought, kind of similar to the Mario Tennis one.
I'd honestly rather just play all the levels they made in a straight line.
Kinda, yeah. I did like some of the end, like toward the end, they actually, give you reasons to go through a couple of special levels. But,
yeah, so like 2 or 3 of the levels give you a shirt for your...
Then they have like story objectives in that toward the end.
Yeah, it's super weird because they...
Oh, and beating the whole thing gives you access to a building tool you don't get otherwise.
Yeah, you get...
Which is, you can place the super hammer power up in levels now.
Yeah, 3D World's super hammer.
That seems like something that shouldn't be locked.
Well, Mario Maker 1 was so much
too,
worse, so I guess this is like the middle ground.
There's also the Super Ball from Super Mario Land is locked. I don't even know how to unlock that.
Oh, that you have to go to the left side of the map. You just run over there, and after you progressed enough, they're like, here, break this thing. There you go. You can use it. It's a Mario Bros. 1 only item, and doing it like changes the color palette to Game Boy look. So it's like, it's gray.
Okay.
Yeah, you could easily have just had a bunch of shirts to unlock with coins. It's strange.
Those are the only things I played.
Well, I played something this week.
Ooh!
Listeners of the podcast may be familiar with a game called Soul Seraph. It's a spiritual successor to ActRaiser. Bob, I have played that game.
Whoa.
On the PS4.
That's not the Switch.
It is not the Switch, but let me tell you about the PS4 version.
How'd the title screen look? How unnerved were you by the character models?
Not that bad on the title screen, but the title screen I hear had the theme done by Yuzo Koshiro, so I tried to stick around and listen to it, but absolutely nothing happens on the title screen, and I don't have much time, so I hit start after 8.5 seconds, and that's all I'll ever hear of Yuzo Koshiro's sole contribution to that game.
I tried to stay on the title screen. 8 seconds.
Yeah, I was expecting anything to happen there, or the music to just completely blow my ass out, like, Fillmore's theme in ActRaiser. But no, it was all right, I guess. I kept moving along. So Soul Seraph, let's talk about it. As we mentioned last week, it's made by some of the people who made Xenoclash
and
Rock of Ages. I couldn't even get one cutscene into this game without them doing the hyphenated mother nouns. So in Xenoclash, they have Father Mother. In this, they have Earth Mother and Sky Father.
Sky Father, that seems made up.
I was cracking up so much. I was like, I love these guys, and I love the fact they will consistently do this. Story-wise, I thought it was pretty neat. You play as Helios, as KZ mentioned last week. You go down to stop the other shittier, younger gods, as it calls them condescendingly, constantly, from shitting up the lives of humans.
By giving them background and foreground enemies they don't understand.
Yes. So you go to the first village, and the first thing the game teaches you is, hey, here's how you build a house. Now you need wood, chop down the woods. And the moment you start chopping down the woods, it's like the god of the trees is nearby, and he's fucking angry, and he's sending monsters. And I'm like, it seems like we started the shit here. Maybe we should just sleep on the ground. But, Soul Seraph, for those who don't know, 2.5D action game. Like ActRaiser was 2D, and then the strategy part is a bit of a tower defense RTS-ish thing. I think that part's fine. The RTS part, it's mechanically fine. It runs a little choppy even on PS4. We hit points where it was like 20 frames per second. It was real bad. It was definitely... It's like the Valifar fight in Bloodstain. It's like the Valifar fight. That's how bad it got at one point. It mostly stayed above that. But the
I
action...
bet on the Pro it's 4K.
I have no idea. I'm curious how the PC version runs, but I'm all right. My number one problem with this game is that I guess it's a few problems, but it's all interconnected in game feel. There's a 3-hit combo when you're standing on the ground, which is a very different concept from what ActRaiser went for, which is fine. This can be a spiritual successor and be its own game. But it wants you to lock yourself into this 3-hit combo to get damage done. But the hit detection's so bad that if you try to stick yourself at a full sword's length from the enemy, your sword will go through them and just not connect. It did it nonstop in the time I was playing.
That was a major issue for me, and the very limited amount that I played. That and the 3-hit combo, just the fact that it's a bit strict of you do 3 hits and you're done. And sometimes I'd go in and I'd fuck up because like the combo's done, stop hitting the button, give up.
Yeah.
Stop it.
You have a charge hit in this where you hold down your sword attack button, and when you let go, your character does a Shoryuken like uppercut with his sword. I did that one time, and my character barely tapped the ground above him and to the right. So I'm like in front of a cliff doing it to an enemy on the cliff. His toe touched the cliff. He immediately stops that animation, stands there, and takes a hit.
You can't land with it, man. What are you thinking?
Well, it's like I don't expect an attack with an upward momentum to just be like, oh, there's ground beneath me. I should just stand. The game incentivizes you using bows, using arrows a lot because they recharge over time. And the hit detection's so bad with the combination of that, the kind of loose jumping, like Feel when he first saw the trailer for this said it had a Blade Kitten energy, and I totally see where he's coming from. It doesn't feel that bad, but it definitely feels rough enough where you really don't want to engage with it as much as possible. I would put this like 1, maybe 2 notches above Blade Kitten feel. But the frame rate is bad. Like, what was it? The second to last level in the first area, they put rain on screen and it just tanks the frame rate. Like, why did you?
Doesn't look good.
Yeah, no.
Bad rain.
It looks pretty rough. Yeah, the rain looks fucking awful. I hate any game that uses that type of shader using screen space reflections for water effects directly in front of the camera. It never looks right. And this game just does that all over the place. It does it for the rain. It does it for splash effects. It does it for everything. And it looks so fucking awful. But I think the largest problem with it is like its frame rate's way too choppy. The hit detection on the sword hits is fucking terrible. And my number one fucking problem, the backdash is set to fucking circle. Like, how the fuck? You expect me to reach over to circle and hit that to backdash when I have so many shoulder buttons available? Who the fuck made that decision? Even worse, you hit one of the shoulder buttons to bring out your shield, and then it locks you into a direction with your shield. If you hit backward on your stick after doing that, you'll backdash. So technically, you can backdash with one of the shoulder buttons. You just have to push the shield button, wait for the shield to come up, and then push backwards. So this thing feels so rough that you'll do a 3-hit combo and be like, okay, I need to backdash as soon as they get out. So what I'll do is I'll hold the shield button, and at the first frame of me not doing this 3-hit combo, I'll hit backward to dodge out of the way of this enemy's attack. I did that. I did not hit back at the as soon as the attack animation ended. I hit it before it ended. My dude is now just looking away from the enemy, holding a shield. And I cannot backdash or dodge at all. I'm just showing him my ass. I'm like, here, I'll use this shield to block the sight of you having your way with
ass
me.
Of the gods.
Yeah, no, that Healy ass. But yeah, the game's neat. The RTS stuff makes sense. I feel like doing a tower defense RTS type thing definitely makes more sense than the like more SimCity-esque like city development of ActRaiser, where you would chase enemies down with your bow and arrow and attack them. Like, that never felt great. So I understand wanting to do it a different way. There are a couple things about that are also just not perfect, but I think it's really interesting in that you need to allot people to each type of armament to protect you from the waves of enemies. But yeah, that game's just not. I would not invoke the name of ActRaiser, and I don't think they did. It's just people saw the trailer and people saw the game, and it was clearly a love letter to ActRaiser, and then it just feels rough and runs like shit and doesn't look the best. And that's really unfortunate.
It's when you make a spiritual successor to the game, but you also are not that confident in it, standing on the same level as that game. So you just go, whatever, people know.
Yeah.
The people that know.
Yeah, people know, and they'll be okay with this, I'm sure.
Nobody's going to be upset, right?
No one's going to be like, what a shit show. But yeah.
Shame.
They made core changes, with the 3-hit combo and stuff to change the feel of the game in a way that's way worse. And as KZ referenced earlier, and we nonstop brought up last week, enemies come for the foreground and background. That is so bad because the lighting isn't even dynamic enough to let you know that visually. So you're just looking at the enemy maybe on your plane, and then the other enemy that's at a slightly different angle, and you wonder if he's bigger because he's in the foreground, but they collapse the depth of field so fucking much you can't tell. You can't fucking tell. So you shoot an arrow at him, and it misses him, and you go, oh, he was clearly in the foreground. But then he hits you, and you go, I guess he wasn't. I guess this game is just shitty.
You have fun?
I'm gonna go back to playing it after this podcast is over, so it wasn't too bad. But
oh god,
it's no Blade Kitten. I had a choice this week between playing Blazing Chrome and that, and I chose Soul Seraph. Whoops. That's fine. Maybe on PC it runs well. I don't know why anyone would check out an Ace Team game on anything other than PC at this point. Because every game they've put out ever runs like shit on consoles.
Such a good track record.
They're PC developers. Please, no bully.
Like an entire chunk of this game seems made for PC.
Yeah. I don't know. But that game could be better. I wish it was better. It's not. No, I didn't play anything else this week. I just watched JoJo's Part 4.
Oh.
Yeah, not completely.
It's not
done
good.
with
It's
it.
not good. I wish it was good. It's not good.
Is this the reverse?
Honestly, it could be lower.
Is this Soul Seraph or JoJo's?
Yeah, I'm curious too.
No, I'm talking about Soul Seraph.
Okay.
Part 4 is great.
Yeah, part 4 seems pretty good. My only disappointment with it is that its theme song is going for a very different thing on the intro, whereas the older JoJo's were going for like pomp, like they have a lot of big sense of, how do you say, epicness or something like that to it, like a sense of scale, ambition.
It also lost the PS2 video game CG.
Yes, tragic. I don't know. The outro still has that. But that part 4 is going great. Can't wait to watch more. Nobody spoil it or I'll block you.
That's yeah.
But I think that's all the games. Now it's time to talk about Fake the Podlords.
Cool.
Okay, thank God I didn't have a bit this time.
Fucking son of a bitch.
What's up, Dan?
You'll find out in a second. The Podlords for this episode
Oh no, the name!
Oh no, the name.
of Big Think Dimension are Danny Richardson, Not Gak, E. Lee Broyles, Vox, Crimson, Corey Brown, Dank Mormons, Red Blaze 27, Jucifer, Suzushiro, Matty Mo, Zavik, and Emperor Zero.
Yeah!
Thank you very much
Cringe before Savage.
to our Podlords.
Thank you, Zavik.
I'm really glad that I now literally can't even go one episode of Big Think without Zavik coming up.
That dude heard that and went, I'm just changing it to Zavik, making it literally impossible.
Why is this my life? I just want to not talk about Zavik. Bob, thank the Podlord.
I always thanks, Zavik.
Thank you, Podlords.
Thank
Cringe
you, Zavik.
before the Podlords.
Cringe before the...
Dan is.
Yeah, no, that's accurate. So, a lot of weeks with Big Think Dimension, I'm really busy editing the podcast. By the time I can get some time to throw some news in to talk about, it's already all been taken. This week, right before we did the podcast, some director of product over at Stadia said some head-ass shit.
Oh, no.
And I'm really
now
glad.
become me, where my news notes are just rip on this person.
True. Feel has mellowed out in the 20 plus episodes we've done.
It's like if the gaming news circuit was just full of people who are like, vinyl's just superior to CD. It feels so warm, and it's just perfect because
Vinyl
it's
is just
imperfect.
like Super Eagle.
Yes, it is. It is like that, but oddly enough, reverse. But I'm not going to get into that. So the Stadia director of product, Bob, said some head-ass shit on an Ask Me Anything on Reddit.
Why is he there?
You ready to hear some of this shit?
Yeah.
Why is he there?
So here we go.
Oh no. Okay, come on. Give me what the reptile said.
Somebody said over on Reddit, if the Stadia service is discontinued, do we know what, if anything, will happen to the game purchases? Alternately, are there many... Wow, this isn't written well. Anyways, end-of-life guarantees, etc. You get the gist of my question. This is how they replied.
Oh no.
We get this a lot. I hear you. Moving to the cloud is scary. I felt the same way.
He's not
when
gonna fucking
music
answer the question.
Was transitioning from files to streaming. I still have all my old CDs in the garage, although it's hard to find a CD player these days. Smiley face. The same happened to movies and photos.
I'm gonna blow my fucking brains
in my
out.
documents and other files, and it's great. Games are no different. Eventually, all of our games will be safely in the cloud too, and we'll feel great about it. We've been investing a ton in tech and infrastructure and partnerships over the past few years. Nothing in life is certain, but we're committed to making Stadia a success. The games you buy on Stadia are yours to play. From day one, we'll support. This is capitalized, so it has to be a feature. Takeout, so that you can download your game metadata, including saves if you want to. That's it. That's his whole fucking response. His whole fucking response is Gmail exists, so games are fine too. Here's the fucking difference, you goddamn idiot.
Oh no!
I have music in the cloud. Guess what? I can download it and play it on anything. It's music. It is a standard.
What'll happen if Stadia dies? Answer: fuck you. We have no plan because it won't die.
Yeah. Pictures are in the cloud. Yeah, you can view pictures on any fucking platform. Any platform has the ability to look at those fucking pictures, and you can fucking download them. Documents are the same fucking way. Your games are designed for your server blocks, you fucking disingenuous asshole. You are not like, and he's like, you can download your metadata. What fucking, how does that help? Do you really think the save file structure is going to be fucking identical between Stadia and PC? God, I certainly fucking hope so, because that's all you're fucking offering. Fuck you. Sitting here being such a piece of shit.
Even Netflix's original series get fucking DVD releases.
Eventually, a lot of them do. Castlevania got Blu-ray. Anyway, he also goes on to say, to be clear, Stadia Pro is not, quote, Netflix for games, like some people have mentioned. A closer comparison would be Xbox Live Gold or PlayStation Plus. No! No, they wouldn't!
What?
Because I can play my fucking games without those! I know, because I do. Fuck you! Fucking asshole. And this is the whole AMA, you know? This is the whole ask me anything. He's just fucking lying.
I mean, that's what you have to do when you have nothing.
Also,
when you
there's
have
a
no
quote-
answer, no anyone wants to hear, you have to just be nothing but fluff.
Also, there's a quote here that's fucked up. Like, I just can't even fucking believe it.
I would not trust this person with anything.
Yeah.
This person sounds like an alien.
It's okay. You got save data for literally nothing. You can take the save data and it's
I want
nothing.
save data.
It's fucking insane.
In best case scenario, you get the save data. You can go buy that game again for $60 on some other platform.
What a fucking steal. What a fucking steal of the century. Oh my God, you have save
Why
files?
don't we be a little bit more grateful?
We should be grateful that they have something vaguely similar to a memory card. That's our
8 MB
memento.
on PS2.
That's our memento at the end of their fucking life. They get to go, here's your saves. That's the best case scenario. That's what they're offering us here. You guys can come to our platform and spend countless dollars on all of these games, and we'll probably offer you a save file. Fuck you.
Cool.
Like, go eat shit, you fucking disingenuous asshole.
Are you still getting Stadia?
Whenever this, all I can think of, this stupid motherfucker, is I think of the news story where some creative, a musician, discovered that one, Apple's cloud backup backs up every single MP3 on your device and then deletes them. And 2, there's no way to get your shit back.
Oh.
What?
So they discovered that all the things they had created were gone.
Oh. That's weird. That's really fucking bizarre. What? But yeah, no, this is insane. This is yet another fucking conversation with Google about their insane product that has all these problems, and they keep hand-waving all of it and insisting it's fine. I didn't even, let me calm down. I didn't even read the part where when people ask about...
Also, this is one other thing.
Go ahead.
Let me. Most music platforms, even the ones that are streaming, let you fucking download the songs because they realize that bandwidth is limited.
And that plays
You have
into...
to get them. You have to use them through their app,
Right.
and they have to authorize them sometimes, but you still can download them. Even Google Play lets you do that.
And that's the thing, like, I was about to comment on. People were like, with data caps and stuff, and this taking up such a huge amount of bandwidth, like 65 hours is all you need to tap out a 1 terabyte a month bandwidth cap. What's your solution for this? They literally said ISPs will change. He's like, we used to worry about that when we were, starting up YouTube, and we realize ISPs are going to change. Sometimes nowadays you can even find internet companies that'll sell you 100 megabit or a gigabit internet bandwidth with unlimited data cap. Me and Bob looked into it. How much was it to get the unlimited data cap on our already expensive internet plan? $50?
It was either 30 or 50 extra bucks.
50 extra bucks. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Don't sit there and be like, ISPs are progressive. No, they aren't. They're oligopolies. They are not at all competing with anyone.
One, it's expensive. Two, if everybody tried to do that, the price would balloon because there's a limited amount of bandwidth, and it's subject to supply and demand like any fucking other commodity. Three, your answer just makes me think Google is going to be doing some criminal shit to try and strong arm ISPs into giving like preference to Google Stadia.
Yeah, that's a worst case scenario. The best case scenario is they just try to strong arm them into loosening up data caps. But yeah, what you said, more likely. The thing is, at the end of the day, your average human being, the most bandwidth consumptive thing they can think to do is watch Netflix. We're not going to pass that at any point. No one's going to be watching YouTube in 8K. People aren't even watching Netflix for the most part in 4K. We're there. Just stop pretending that your bandwidth isn't enough to meet the immense demand of the people, because it is. It's more than that already. Stop pretending it's a fucking scarce resource. And fuck Google for saying they're going to change. No, they aren't. That's insane.
Not when they can get more money instead of changing.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think at any point in time they're going to be like, oh, we'll give you this thing for free that we normally charge $50 a month for? No. They're going to try to hold on to data caps as long as it's legally feasible.
And again, if even 10% of the people in America who currently play games on a console switch to Stadia,
yeah, it's a nightmare.
There wouldn't be enough unlimited data. There wouldn't be enough bandwidth. Not at a price they can afford.
Yeah, I feel like it's complicated because a lot of people are doing digital games, and it depends on how much you play relative to game size. People are already just buying digital games instead of going to a store. Sometimes companies make patches that are the size of the original game file, if not larger,
because they program real well.
Yeah, they code the best.
The best.
They code good. Fucking Mortal Kombat X did that, didn't it? Where it just completely replaced the original file on Steam. Like they fucked up on.
I know the
Steam
PC
version.
ones are the absolute worst, like Titanfall, where it's like, yeah, download 100 gigabytes of audio, or Shenmue 3.
Yeah, no, it was Titanfall 1 had 53 gigabytes because it was completely uncompressed audio.
I remember Metal Gear Rising when it went on PC was like,
yeah, it's huge.
40 gigs, mostly because of the cutscenes.
Yeah, they were using the Blu-ray quality cutscenes. It's
like
it's fucking bonkers.
Rockstar games are the largest thing in human history because they encode every single cutscene as a separate video file for each language.
Oh. Plus on the PC they have much higher res
textures. That's why Max Payne 3 is like 60 gigabytes. Or it's like how the Atelier games, not anymore, but some of the Atelier games like a couple of years ago, like Atelier Aisha, was like 17 gigs because all the music was uncompressed FLAC.
I really liked it when Atelier Aisha used to host the Ubisoft conference. We should move on, though.
No, let's reflect on that for a moment.
Okay, I'm okay with that. Being the one who made the joke, let's all spend time appreciating it.
Remember when Atelier Aisha had the girlwood necklace?
Yeah, I remember the girlwood necklace.
It's a girlwood.
Yeah.
Darude. Pretty sure that's a second-gen Pokemon.
Remember when Atelier Aisha Clan fought that guy at the end of Outlaw Star?
It was raw.
It was pretty
I remember
raw.
That. Or the Hot Spring episode. So apparently the new Nintendo Switch, we have the Switch Lite. We're getting a new version of the normal fucking Switch, but it's a stealth release, relatively. It's not going to look that much. It's not going to look different. It's just getting swapped out, and they're advertising better battery lives.
It's got a slightly different box.
Very slightly, what was it?
I am willing to bet there is one other change to this that is related to another thing that's in the news.
Oh, okay.
It's a secret.
So this thing's going to be hitting in mid-August in North America and early September for Europe. It's going to be the exact same price. It is not a Pro model, but one of the things they talk about is vastly better battery life. They're advertising it as something like using Breath of the Wild as a comparison point. The normal Switch is 3 hours, the Switch Lite 4 hours, this is 5.5 hours. So if you look at that, the difference between the original Switch model and this model is almost double, going from 3 hours to 5.5. So the way they're doing that, and they're not talking about it too much, but the way they're doing that, they're raising the battery size, the capacity by, from what I've read, 25%, from, I believe it was 4,000 milliamp hours to 5,000 milliamp hours. And they're also switching the APU out for the same one that's going into the Switch Lite, which is codenamed Mariko. And since it is a smaller node fab, going from the original Switch's 20 nanometer down to, I believe I read 14 nanometer, it's going to be more power efficient at the exact same, performance, same clock rate. So one, that's cool. Two, I wouldn't be surprised if that burst load mode to make loading go faster or some other secret mode doesn't get unlocked for this newer model at some point. That wouldn't surprise me at all, because they did all of those updates to... When the Switch originally launched, it didn't have that burst load mode. That thing was stealth updated into the SDK without them announcing it. The only reason people picked up that was a thing is, one, people hacking apart the Switch, and two, and this is what actually made people notice to even look for the shit, the Breath of the Wild load times getting drastically reduced with that one patch. And that's what we found out, that there is a special mode where it clocks up the hardware to make it load faster. I wouldn't be surprised if this allows it to clock even higher, especially in docked mode. So that's cool. That's interesting. I'm not sure, since I don't play it in portable mode, if there's any real reason to get this, other than it may not get really loud and whiny, because some Switches, when you play certain games, can get a little loud. Mm-hmm. Namely Splatoon 2. Splatoon 2 is a very loud, intense game to play in portable mode. My girlfriend should buy this.
It was really funny because when this first got announced, I immediately saw like a surge of people going, "It's got more battery life than the Lite, so that means the Lite's worthless, right?" What's the point of it? Because this has a better battery.
There's this thing. I'm not sure people understand it, and certain people from certain gaming podcasts who could not get this point through their fucking head need to listen to the words I am saying very carefully. Money. Not everyone has $300 to spend on a portable. $200 is a world of difference when it comes to market penetration. Not everyone's going to use console mode.
Now,
demographics exist?
Yes, people poorer than you exist. Can you imagine?
Weird.
Whoa.
You're underselling the Lite's greatest asset. The bezel is a color.
I mean,
that is really nice.
You're not wrong.
Like, I looked at that and I went, good.
Yeah.
Because the idea of just that thick black bezel just kind of makes the normal Switch look a little bit worse.
Yeah, no, the normal Switch very much looks like a just tablet hardware.
Yeah, when you take the Joy-Cons off, you just look like a tablet. Unless you got one of the really fancy ones, like it has Pokemon prints on the back.
There are ones with Pokemon prints on the back.
Yeah, pretty cool. It has like Eevee and Pikachu.
Oh my god.
Hopefully it's like Wingull and Bidoof.
God,
if they would sell me a Bidoof.
Oh man. If they had, I feel like that's the power team right there. Wingull and Bidoof.
Bob's like, don't make me spend this money.
If you buy anything with a Bidoof on it,
Then you're a wise man. Is that the rest of your sentence?
You get put on a list.
The Joy-Con, the left Joy-Con is his teeth. The right Joy-Con is his tail.
Hey, that's a left Joy-Con. That's a good segue into the other thing I bet they're changing.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
Which is fixing the fucking Joy-Con drift that they are now being sued over.
Yep, they're getting a class action lawsuit over the fucking Joy-Con drift.
What is the drift?
The drift is a lot of left Joy-Cons will just start to register as they're moving even when you aren't touching them.
Oh, yeah, that's a thing. I played through all of The World Ends With You, and it happened in a video, and I'm like, guys, what's happening? It's a ghost!
And it just happens. People have sent in their Joy-Cons to be fixed, gotten them back, and it started doing it again like a couple months later. People have bought relatively recent Joy-Cons, and it still does it. And it just feels like this is them being like, oh, fuck, we have to fix this. We're going to get our ass busted open.
If they can.
And they have to fix, if they can. And they especially have to fix it for the fucking portable one.
Well, actually, they don't, because it's hardwired, and this is undoubtedly some sort of issue with the communication protocol.
Right? It's a communication issue, yeah.
Maybe they'll have it fixed for those new colors of Joy-Cons they announced.
Oh, yeah.
They did announce new colors.
Yeah, they look pretty cool, like a dark blue one, and
yeah, they had one purple.
Yeah, I wish that they would just release these in 2-pack with the same colors.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
Motherfuckers. Just give me the GameCube colors and it will be fine. I don't even need atomic purple. Just give me purple on both Joy-Cons.
No, you want purple and yellow.
Go on eBay like me and get those atomic purple Joy-Cons.
KZ, it may not seem like it, but I find it incredibly hard to justify things that don't provide a functional value.
There is a functional value to looking at it
Looking
going...
cool is valuable.
Not to me. Puts on denim jacket.
Looking 90s cool. Here you are in your denim jacket playing clacks.
Every time someone looks at me wearing the denim jacket, it just looks like the movie Super 8 to them. I've got like VHS scratch filters all over me, and I'm like, what's wrong? And they're like, whoa.
They just keep saying tubular whenever they see you.
They're like, wow, that's like vaporwave.
The dry poster, but it's just Dan wearing the denim jacket.
I'm going to be honest. I'd do it. That sounds great. Where can I go to get a fucking sick-ass scorpion or tiger on the back of this denim jacket?
Probably anywhere that does embroidery.
But yeah, the SNK did those things with those boomer jackets. Or bomber jackets. Boomer
jackets.
They are boomer jackets, that's correct.
It's true.
Yeah, the Samurai Showdown characters.
Yeah, they were real good looking.
They were really good.
But they were like $1,000 or something.
Yeah.
Every single person who played Garo, Mark of the Wolves, and went, oh man, Terry Bogart's jacket's so cool. They're a boomer. Every single one of them.
That's only because no one else would have played Garo. I feel like if you showed Garo to newer people, younger people even, they would be like, hey, what a badass. Because he's fucking Terry Bogard.
No, they'd be like, oh, fucking Rock Howard's so cool.
I mean, not everyone is a fan of SAO, Theo, okay?
What's the connection between Rock Howard and SAO?
They both have the more effeminate male design.
There's a very Kirito energy with Rock Howard.
I like Rock Howard, but yeah,
I love Rock Howard.
No, Rock Howard owns. He does when he wins, he flails his hand and the big flame angel wing appears for a second.
You should play a game called Psychic Force. It's very raw.
And then you don't pick him anymore because he's always in the bottom tier of every single game he's in.
Oh my god. Is that why I'm losing?
That explains everything.
God damn it.
Oh no. Dan, you had to lose a little late.
Just
people who play a lot of SNK games hate Rock because they literally call him a beginner's trap because he's so cool looking but so terrible.
I assume that applies to King of Fighters, the newest one as well.
Yes,
of course.
It's the best he's ever been, and he's still bad.
What a tragedy. So, Bob,
what's up?
I heard 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim has resurfaced yet again. It has shown its true form.
Yep.
tell me for those who don't know, this is the Vanillaware game that has spent forever in development. Bob, what is this game?
They apparently did a huge live stream where they showed off a lot of different aspects of the game, and some of it was the adventure mode as we saw before, where it's just really a visual novel. It's kind of overdone a little bit.
Look, Bob, I'm adjusting Velcro over here.
Okay, so. it's like doing Velcro and staring at me intently. I'm like, what's going on?
I'm leaning away from the microphone. That's all I'm doing. I'm not like making eye contact with Bob and slowly undoing the Velcro like, yeah, motherfucker, I'm going to kill you with this Velcro.
Stop scaring Bob.
But then they showed the gameplay, which is the battle segments. It's some sort of tactical RPG.
What?
So, I have a guess. This isn't what they were originally going to have as the gameplay 3 years ago.
Probably not.
Yeah,
no.
There's almost no way. This looks bizarre.
This has a very strong, what we were doing wasn't fucking working energy, and we don't have the time or money to start over again or waste all the shit we made.
Right.
Time to just make a weird tactical thing.
Yeah, like the whole thing's on this big holographic map. You select your unit and move it around, and each unit seems to have its own special attacks, which have a lot of flair to them. It really
maybe closer to release we'll get one more trailer that has like
presented the information in a really readable way, because everything looked kind of samey.
Yeah, I can't figure out.
We only saw
what
like probably 5 minutes of it.
That trailer.
I think I need to see more to really understand it. Of course, it was all Japanese text, but it looked like it was just a bunch of like an absurd amount of enemies attacking the city. And then you're controlling your 5 guys or 5 mechs, and they each have gigantic attacks that hit like almost everything. I'm not sure what this is.
But we can confirm it is not Dragon's Crown Mecha Edition.
No, by no means. They even advertised in this. They updated the website. They advertised one of their key modes, archive mode, where you get to read about the world. Like they're advertising their dictionary, basically.
Wow.
That's how you know something went wrong, I feel.
It's like if the only part you shipped of Third Birthday was the head ass plot. Here's your timeline chart. Hope you enjoy this.
Yeah, I'd love to take more time to analyze the gameplay, because maybe there's more to the tactical mode that makes it interesting. I just don't really like the look of it right now, and it worries me. And I'm hoping that we get a new Vanillaware, like a real Vanillaware game sometime.
They are working on something else.
Okay. Because this is depressing.
Yeah, they already announced earlier this year, like right around the time they shipped that demo, that they are... Remember, it had a teaser for a real game from them. So I'm with Feel on this. The game they wanted to make wasn't coming together. They then pieced together some sort of gameplay they could wrap all their story stuff around. Mm-hmm. And they needed to ship it. And now it's shipping by the end of the year.
Right.
But then they still needed more money, so they sold the demo.
They have so many cool character designs and stuff, and it feels like it's going to waste. But maybe, who knows, maybe they did have some weird thought of, this is just going to be our visual novel game, but we're not going to tell anybody. That seems insane though, right?
Yeah.
How the fuck have we managed to somehow still be asking questions about what this game is? I feel like I know more about Death Stranding than I do about this game. I'm not even like doing hyperbole here. I kind of know what that game is. I still don't know what's going on with this one. Like, it's an SRPG, maybe. It's a visual novel, I guess.
So you're going to do the talkie words.
And this game was in much longer development?
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're going to do the talkie words with the visual novels, and then, oh no, there's an attack. And then you're going to have to go do this thing.
This SRPG battle that might be done. Who knows?
It might be done.
That might be something they developed for more than like a year because they felt fear and had to make some shit up.
Bob, this is coming out in 4 months.
Yeah, I'm saying it's going to launch completely in a almost... only barely playable state that is really just visual
I know, that's
flair.
why I'm saying, like, look how bad this is. This is kind of dire.
I'm hoping that maybe this isn't a travesty because, I'm just gonna hope because I have no confidence that this isn't just that game was a disaster internally and they could not make whatever gameplay system they had wanted.
I'll probably still end up buying it if they bring it to the States, but
impressions of the demo, which had none of the gameplay, at least, the novel part, people said was really, really good.
Yeah, I'm interested too.
And I'm like, I could play games that have, a solid story and gameplay in it.
Odin Sphere had good writing, and so did Muramasa.
Yeah, they're solid writers. I don't know.
Odin Sphere's big thing was a lot of repetitiveness, and the combat wasn't fleshed out enough, and the planting stuff was really slow. And then they fixed every single one of those things.
The re-release of Odin Sphere basically erased the original from fucking existence.
And you can still play it. You can still play the original in the new one. There's a button for it. This reverts it back to the normal game.
It's called the Make the Game Bad button.
Yes! I'm willing to say it's bad now, but I still really liked that game just because of, visuals, music, atmosphere. But God, the revamped combat.
Muramasa needs to get off the Vita. So bad. Where isn't that coming out on the PS4?
Blow it out your ass, weeb.
Yeah, I really hope Muramasa HD is one of the things they're working on.
Maybe once they get this done, then Muramasa can go on the track as their side project they do while their next main thing is cooking up.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I want. I want Muramasa as a side project while they're working on Dragon's Crown 2.
I haven't played Muramasa.
Have you played Dragon's Crown?
I played a little bit of it and went, yeah, this is really good. I should probably play more of this and get pro.
Yeah, me and Bob played a little bit of it too. What was it, 120 hours?
Yeah, just a touch. Just a taste.
Just a little bit.
Has any dev misstepped as hard as Vanillaware putting Muramasa on the fucking Wii?
They survived till today. Who knows?
Right, it couldn't have been that bad for them.
Because the Wii was in a lot of households
they put it
in
on
Japan
Wii,
and America.
You can survive.
It's going to Vita.
You can defy death a long time. Look at SNK. They still exist somehow.
Embrace death.
Look, SNK is this weird thing where it was owned by a company that was still making money in other markets, so they didn't need to worry about making video games.
Right. It was like the Sammy.
Yes.
It's like they got bought by Sammy.
It is pretty funny how Japan was just we're making pachinko more thoroughly regulated, and SNK was like, oh fuck, we're back, we're making games. Shit.
We gotta get out.
Okay, I did not notice that, so it just felt like a switch flip where they're like, yeah, we feel like making the video games again.
Yeah, I would also like to point out...
They explicitly did that in response to new laws involving the regulation and more strenuous oversight on the production of pachinko machines.
Yeah, that's also when Konami started caring about their retro catalog more.
Right, as soon as that thing happened, it was all the same week.
They're like,
Konami and then back.
Oh, geez, oh man.
All right, here's $15. Make this Contra game.
Here's $15.
This Contra game's gonna be fine. I'm gonna play it. I'm excited.
Look, there's nothing.
That game's gonna be.
You guys,
we're gonna do a spoiler cast for Contra.
Yeah.
No,
guys, there's nothing wrong with the asset store. Okay, stop making fun of it.
You can find every Contra game there, as well as the assets for Shulk and Pokemon Trader from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
If that game was made of assets bought at the asset store, it'd look a little bit nicer.
No, these are Unity assets.
Yeah, there we go.
That's what more it feels like.
Yeah. Unfortunately, their game is made on the old Unity engine for lighting, so they only have access to the older Unity assets.
Somehow they only got the models from Mighty Number 9. They didn't even use Unity for that one, but it just worked out that way.
The art looks bad, but it doesn't look wacky arm inflatable tube man bad.
No.
I mean, hey, it could look worse. It could look like a digital homicide game.
You know what would really get me through this 13 Sentinels game?
What would get you through it?
Get a good old-fashioned Ocean Group dub.
Oh man, that would be would be pretty cool.
That would be pretty good. I'm finding myself really enjoying bad old dubs.
Ocean Group made nothing but good dubs, KZ.
You're right. What was I thinking?
KZ.
Someone get Scott McNeil on the line.
Yes.
Yeah, Scott McNeil's a fucking legend. He played Wily in Mega Man Upon a Star. If you don't believe me, go watch our review on YouTube. But hey, KZ.
I always trust you, Dan. Video games.
I need you to solve a mystery for me, KZ. When the hell is Luigi's Mansion 3 coming out?
Yes, it is in fact coming out on Halloween, a Wednesday.
Whoa.
Spooky.
It's very spooky.
I'm glad they were not lame and made sure that this came out on the day, no matter what.
You know, it's funny because, like, Halloween, I feel, is getting lamer and lamer in the United States. So a game shipping on that day makes a lot of sense where it's just like, yeah, Halloween fucking sucks. Let's get a fucking video game.
Just stay home. Everyone outside's gonna shoot you. Don't go outside.
That's the most Florida thing you've ever said.
Again, I was doing a live stream just playing a game, and then I just heard someone unload an entire clip, like maybe 20 yards away. And I went, I gotta be right back, guys. And I was like, all right, let's just do the worm across the floor and just slide here. And I was like, clearly they didn't pick up on the mic. It fucking does.
Yeah. That's
Oh, man.
America. Am I
Yeah,
right?
you're right. Stay inside, play this new Luigi's Mansion that really, really looks great.
Yeah,
Don't get any poison or razor candy.
yeah.
I like how we're just the cop podcast now.
We're what?
The cop.
Bringing up all the shit that historically has never actually happened that cops lie about because they want people to stay in on Halloween.
Oh, yeah. Hey, sometimes this happens. But
Our
Nintendo-
chief of police when I was a kid, the chief of police where I live got fired 1 year because he started a rumor that there would be a gang war on Halloween because he didn't want to have his guys all over town that night.
Great guy.
Wow.
And then they found documents saying spread this rumor, and his ass was gone.
Whatever, I'm not going to comment on that. Anyways, no, I was talking about Halloween's getting lame around here because I've seen the candy they give kids nowadays, and it's just like, no, you're not trying to give them premature type 2 diabetes. You need to give them more
You're not
candy.
trying.
You need to try harder. What is this? Fuck you. I see your house. You make too much money to be giving out this. Fuck off. Look, Bob, when you have a
Yeah,
relative,
at least
when
do
you have
something.
a relative who's young and they go trick-or-treating and you see what they get and you think about what you got when you were a kid and it's like markedly worse, you get mad.
Maybe they just didn't know the good spots.
No, they went to the good spots.
Oh no.
Yeah, shitloads of those rich people were just pretending to not be home. I also had to listen to those rich people pretend, like, talk to me about how that was their plan.
Why?
Because they're fucking assholes. They can't buy candy for kids.
Even in this place, I always try to make sure I have some extra candy sitting around for that.
We never have kids show up here or at the other place I occasionally the cave I crawl into to pass out every now and again.
Your alleged home.
My alleged hole in the wall that I call a home. Even there,
Yes.
we keep fucking candy. No one ever visits. It's called not being an asshole. Just buy some fucking candy. Fuck.
The new thing is even fucking worse, which is subdivisions giving kids in the neighborhood branded trick-or-treat bags, and if you don't have that bag, you don't get candy.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
man.
Holy
People, come
shit.
on.
I want to find the people who do that across America as a reality TV show where I go and beat the shit out of them.
Allegedly.
That would be
No, it's a TV show. It's all fake. Every reality show is fake, KZ. Don't you know? Every single one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Flavor of Love.
What the fuck is that?
Of course, Flavor of Love is fake. Who the fuck wants to fuck
What?
Flavor?
What, do you not know what Flavor of Love is?
No.
All the girls try to date Flava Flav, and one of them in the first episode, there was one of the seasons opened with a bitch who shit her pants and then left. It was real good.
So this is a survival horror show, you say?
Yeah,
and then they had a spin-off called Rock of Love that was some fucking butt rock hair metal dude.
This is all fascinating. But
I believe it was a
Brett
dude from
Michaels.
Poison.
It was Brett Michaels, the lead singer and songwriter of Poison.
I watched that as well.
okay.
Okay, I believe you.
Hey, Bob.
What's
Nintendo's
up?
got a pretty good lineup for fall and like stuff in general.
Oh, what else might be coming out around that time on any platform at all? That is news. KZ, go.
Coming out October 29th, my birthday. Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD coming out for PC and all the consoles. Features
Nice.
monkeys inside balls. It's based on the Wii title that I've seen some people disappointed at. I don't know. I looked at footage. It looks fine.
Is it literally just a port of the Wii?
It's just a
What?
port of the
It's like
Wii one.
it's a fully remastered one because the Wii one only did motion controls, so they had to readjust everything so that it would work on normal consoles.
Well, I mean, they had a normal controller for the one before that on the GameCube. It's just fucking weird that they chose the Wii one. But okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
That
also-
was mainly the crux of people getting upset. Like, why isn't it Deluxe 2?
I feel like it should have been like a collection of 1 and 2, or just like a compilation, maybe.
Yeah, that would have been
But
nice.
doing the Wii one explicitly seems strange.
Does anyone know the
Seems
price for this
lazy.
thing? Seems lazy.
I mean,
If it's more than $20, it's gonna be a fucking rough sell.
I'll give it a look.
Hey, Bob,
what's up?
how much would you pay to get these monkeys on your balls?
I don't think I pay anything. I don't know.
Blow it up your ass.
Oh no.
God damn it. $40.
Oh, fuck off!
Jesus Christ.
What are you
Yeah,
talking
I see it on Amazon. $40.
It's a port of a Wii game nobody liked.
That better be a placeholder.
Jesus fucking Christ. And
I mean, maybe it's a placeholder. They're calling it a remake.
And to think of the fact that KZ got us blacklisted by Sega over his Soul Seraph review on last week's podcast, now we can't even get a free copy of this.
No, just Sega of Europe.
Oh, okay. This is a joke, everyone. We don't know that he's been blacklisted. Most publishers don't really do that as much anymore.
I mean, yeah.
Most publishers don't exclusively publish garbage. Very excited. I really wish that wasn't $40. I really wish that wasn't $40. Why is it the legacy of Monkey Ball?
Yeah, Monkey Ball games have always been a tough sell at various high price points.
I don't get it. Why do they
If
keep
it's
doing
actually
it?
a remake, maybe there's like 1 billion bonus levels from the other games, and that makes it worth it.
Yeah, I mean, if it's more than just having HD in the title really makes me think it won't be that.
Bob, we need to get that Wii modded with HDMI output and get a copy of the original game to compare with this and be like, it sure as shit is the same fucking game from 10 years ago. $40.
I saw someplace saying that there are new mini games they added specifically to this version, so there might be some stuff.
Oh, they just added
Like,
gotcha elements.
You can't do this shit unless you're Nintendo. Like, Nintendo is the only people who can be like, here's a 10-year-old game, HD ported $60, eat our ass.
Weird that their press release ends with that.
That was at the end of the Twilight Princess press release.
Those are the two genders, by the way. Blow it out your ass and eat my ass. KZ, please tell me about Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
All right, 1, don't ever say Kakarot ever again.
Nah, fuck you. I
number
know
2.
Xion's listening. I will say Kakarot exactly as many times as I feel.
Dan, you gotta say Dragon Ball
All right,
Zeta.
number 2, the blow it at your ass voice. I don't remember the voice actor of that anymore. I just think of Deacon Days Gone. I'm ruined.
Yeah, you're pretty ruined. Just think Big the Cat. Just imagine Big the
Froggy,
Cat
I
telling you to
gotcha.
blow it out your ass. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, come all over me.
Blow it out your ass, Froggy.
Yeah, that's. I'm here to Chewbacca will come and find Froggy. And I lost my Froggy.
What?
What? It's it's Big the Cat delivering a cool Duke Nukem line.
So Dragon Ball Z Kakarot,
Thank you.
which is the upcoming action RPG for Dragon Ball Z by CyberConnect 2, will feature other playable characters to avoid just being like Legacy of Goku, where it's like, we're gonna go through up to the Frieza saga, but oh wait, Goku isn't in half of this story. So thankfully, there will be other characters to play as to flesh things out.
Yeah, it'd be fucking hilarious if there was just a big chunk of that game that was Goku training in the spaceship on the way to Namek.
I feel like 100% there will at least be a sequence in that, but
I know, but it'd be funny if there was just like, no, you don't get to play as Vegeta and Gohan on Namek. And you just
you miss the Zarbon, Dodoria, and Ginyu stuff until Goku shows up. Like that would be.
And then once he gets owned, he's back in the tank, and you just have to sit in the tank and stare at the wall for 2 hours.
And there's like a mini game associated with it, but they have additional playable characters. There's both playable and then support characters that will help you out. The other playable characters are also supports as well. They are Gohan, Piccolo, and Vegeta. Vegeta specifically, they say, will only first be available during the Namek saga, obviously, because that's the big shift, where he's the he's like the anti-hero. He like helps you out from that point on. Then support characters: Chaozu, Tien, Krillin, and Yamcha, and it's of course Tien Shinhan, not any of that Ten Shinhan.
Oh, thank you.
This Kudidin shit.
Thank you. I was curious.
I'm sorry, but we're American. Speak your American Dragon Ball here.
I wasn't following what characters you were talking about until you said Tien Shinhan and Kuririn.
I'm sad to see Krillin in the support-only character list. I feel like he had a bigger role.
Yeah, that is a little like that was a little
next
upsetting.
He's next to Yamcha.
Yeah, right? Like, no, man.
He's next to all these fucking jobbers. At least Krillin did shit.
Right, he got more stuff done in that saga than Gohan, I feel.
Look, you can look at the support-only characters, all 4 of them, and say, which one of these got their dick wet? Krillin. Get him out of there. He deserves better.
You know? Make a good point. There's that filler episode where Krillin's in the pimp outfit.
Yes!
See?
and he has that girlfriend that looks exactly like Bulma, but with bigger tits. It's very strange.
And then he names his child
You think
after her.
Well, it's fine. She's not canon. She's from the Garlic Jr. arc, which even if you like Dragon Ball filler, is like at the absolute lowest tier.
I hope the sequel covers the Garlic Jr. stuff.
They'll make Krillin playable in that just because the entire Garlic Jr. arc in the anime is Krillin gets beat up until Gohan gets mad enough to instantly own someone.
Man, Bob, I think we might have some clashing opinions with these people on Garlic Jr.
The Garlic Jr. saga has a belly beam. Not many things can say that.
It's got the Blackwater Mist.
If only we could express our opinion on Garlic Jr., the movie, via some sort of podcast.
Do it.
Do it.
Engage.
Okay, if you would like to hear us review every single Dragon Ball film, animated special, and Dragon Ball Evolution, the live action film, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/gbpodcasts and help us get to our $2,000 a month goal. In addition to helping fund that show, you also get access to commentary tracks, special shows, bonuses to Armchair Dev episodes, and other very valuable rewards. That is patreon.com/gbpodcasts.
We're 85% of the way to that Dragon Ball movie podcast.
Be like the Podlords that change their names to things like Zavik.
Oh my god! Actually, Zavik, brand new Podlord, joined 3 days ago to be Zavik.
Okay, I just need to full disclosure here. Zavik, never change your name. I need a Podlord next week. I beg you. You can just do it for a month. I need Garlic Jr. or Pycon to join us as a Podlord. I want to say thank you, Pycon, or thank you, Garlic Jr.
I mean, I'm cool with Garlic Jr. They should go with Garlic Jr. What do you think, Bob? Which one's better, Pycon or Garlic Jr.?
They're both pretty raw. I feel
Yes,
like I
they
can't
are.
choose one.
Oh man, if only we watched those movies recently.
At least Garlic Jr. had a good movie.
Yeah, he did
Yeah.
have a good movie.
Yeah, he did.
We don't know if it's a good movie until we do the podcast.
That's true. He had a
I mean,
question mark?
I haven't seen that movie in forever. I could be wrong.
Sam,
Happens all the time. I mean, KZ's wrong about burst limit every day of his life.
shut the fuck up about burst limit. You're gonna take this to your grave, you fucking coward.
My name's KZ. I expressed an opinion very strongly and then started to think, uh-oh, I shouldn't trust
you
13-year-old
see,
me.
Here's the mistake. I expressed an opinion. It clashed with yours. It's now a bit till I'm dead.
Look,
Or
we
at least another 2 weeks.
we could end the bit if someone could send a copy of Burst Limit to the P.O. box for GigaBoots, which they can find on the GigaBoots Discord pinned under the announcements channel, because I am not spending $17 to prove you wrong, Casey.
Oh, God. Do I have to buy you a copy of Burst Limit to do on the weekly beating so you can just say, man, KZ's a piece of shit?
I mean,
Watch me beat Bob at Burst Limit. You have to unlock the characters first, so you'll only have like 4 dudes.
okay, 1, there aren't even that many dudes in that game. 2, if I remember Burst...
There are enough.
Burst-
There are enough. It goes up to Cell.
Okay, so there's an extremely important update I have to interrupt right now to tell you.
Oh, no.
There is a website called AI Portraits, where you put in a picture and the AI draws a painting of it.
Yep.
And
I don't like where this is headed.
Oh no, feels post.
You're a monster. Why have you done this?
Hold on. I have a request. Hold on, let me look in the folder.
That is
By the way,
horrifying.
I didn't do this.
$25 on Amazon. Whoa.
Yeah, no. So about why I'm not buying it.
I have this photo. I want to see that in painting form.
Man, hope Daniel cuts all of these pictures of himself horribly mutilated by an AI into this podcast. It would be tragic if he forgot. There, I hit the mark button.
Don't worry, when I
Hopefully it marked
don't worry
it.
when I shill the episode, I'll put them all in the replies.
One,
There you go. That's where
I didn't want it for the podcast. I wanted it for me. There's some things we keep sacred. I'm still shopping for Burst Limit for you. Hold on.
This is ridiculous. Hey, we need to move on. Bob, what do you got to tell me about ninjas this week? This week in ninjas.
We got a new trailer for Ninja Saviors: Return of the Warriors.
Oh, cool.
That's such a dumb name.
It's the
terrible.
worst.
But this trailer actually shows off like a ton of footage of the game, and we see the 2 new characters they've added, like a big chunk of gameplay. One of them is a giant robot.
Okay.
He literally has he can transform.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it's raw.
Well, aren't the ninja saviors, as they're called now, aren't they internally robots? Aren't they ninja cyborgs?
Oh yeah, they're all just robots.
right.
But
So
this one is
this
giant.
makes sense that it's just a giant robot.
Yeah, no, they're yeah. And then the other new characters like got these stretchy arms, like they got the tentacle arms going on, and it looks pretty neat.
Like that weird dude from Blaze Blue that has the whippy hands. Not sure what I'm talking about. Don't worry about it.
Okay, it was like it's very much more robotic than anything I can think of in Blaze Blue.
Oh, okay. So
that's what that was.
they're both robots?
Yeah, they're all robots. Every single one of these characters in the game is a robot.
Yeah, but I thought it was
like
less
robots.
obvious with the ninjas until they get damaged.
No, even like the only one that's not obvious on is the Kunoichi, because she looks human, but then she still has moves where you can tell she's a robot. And then the dude ninja is just straight up, I'm a giant, or I'm a pretty big buff robot.
I'm just a Terminator.
Yeah, he's a Terminator wearing a ninja outfit.
Yeah, it's very smart. Very, very smart.
It came out, I think that the price was like $30 for a physical version. I don't think that's a good price point.
Is it 2D animated? Also, these people don't know the legacy of this game. What's the deal with it?
It's a game that came out on
SNES.
SNES. Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, way back in the day.
But it was called
Disappeared.
Ninja Warriors then?
I think that's right.
And
Yeah,
that's
Ninja
why
Warriors.
this is called Ninja Saviors: Return of the Warriors. Because Ninja Warrior is like some TV show or something.
When did
Right.
they
And it's
change
still
the
called
name of
Ninja
this
Warriors
game?
in
Because
Japan,
it
I
was
think?
called
Yes.
it's called Ninja Warriors Once Again in Japan, I think. Because
Right.
I forgot. I didn't even
Because-
realize they changed the name of it.
Ninja Warrior isn't a show in Japan. It's just a show in America.
Right, and the
Right.
band called like Sasuke or something.
Are you talking about Whoever's Castle?
No, it's the show that it was literally brought over here called Ninja Warrior, but originally it was like called Sasuke or something to that effect. Because the castle one is a more goofy one.
I mean, the popular show over here, yeah, it's a spin-off. Why is it just called Sasuke? What a fucking name.
Right?
It's named after my favorite Naruto character.
Oh my god.
What a fucking name. Anyway.
I mean, that's yeah.
Hey, Mr. Field, tell me about what games are or aren't fake.
Okay, so this is just me doing a PSA. Harvest Moon: The Light of Hope is getting a special edition at the end of July. That's a fake Harvest Moon game. It isn't real. It's part of the developers split from the publishers, and the publishers hired a mobile dev to continue making Harvest Moon games under that name.
Do not buy it. You've been warned.
Don't be scammed.
But what if it's a good game?
But I'm looking at it, and this
No,
looks.
it's not. It's already came out. It came out a year ago, and everybody's like, "This is bad."
Okay, get fucked.
Whoa, don't you think you're being a little harsh, Casey?
Nope. These are the only two modes.
I'm sorry. I need to turn on my false positivity. Come on, Phil, you're being a little.
In other get fucked news, Tetris Effect is coming to PC as an Epic exclusive. Now, on a lot of these Epic exclusives, I get it. They're giving you so much fucking money.
All right. You know,
But I feel like
Shenmue.
if any game is gonna go over 600,000 sales on its own, it's a fucking Tetris game.
Yeah.
It's Tetris.
It feels like the publisher is vastly underestimating the appeal of Tetris.
Right, and that isn't. Is there even a VR headset that will work with Steam? Or sorry, that will work with Epic Game Store stuff?
Probably not.
Man, you would think that you could just hook the Valve thing up and it would work.
Right, you'd like to think that, but
I would
just
like
don't
to
know.
think that, but who knows?
Is there a definitive, like a high-tier Tetris game on PC anyway?
Let me put it this way. There's a nightmare situation when it comes to Tetris on any platform other than singular platforms. Like, there's a good Tetris Battle Royale on fucking Switch. There's a good Tetris on PS4 with the Tetris Effect. Puyo Puyo Tetris is good. I think that came out on PC. But overall, Tetris is a game with universal fucking appeal. It should be spread to as broad an audience as possible.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you thinking burying this on the Epic Game Store?
Because I'm like, there's a market
they're
that wants
thinking-
Tetris.
Right.
And, you know, I can't think of any Tetris game on PC, so this would have been a slam dunk. The only thing that compares to Tetris Effect, I'd say, is Tetris 99.
Yeah, and people get scared away by the Puyo Puyo part of Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Yeah.
Ugh.
One.
They could get a massive chunk of money and not have to try.
If you're listening to this right now and you don't know what Puyo Puyo is, but you like Tetris, fucking go check out Puyo Puyo Tetris. It's on Steam. It's only $20. It's the best feeling version of Tetris to have shipped, or Puyo Puyo, in a very fucking long time, and it is a great game with a hilarious single-player mode.
I like the cute little characters.
Yeah, they say funny stuff.
And then you can also understand the pain of haha won.
Hey, getting chains is really hard, okay? I've been playing Kirby's Avalanche during this podcast, and it's quite challenging.
You know why it's quite challenging?
Why?
Kirby's Avalanche, it feels like shit. I'm playing on original
Okay, you're
hardware.
probably right. I haven't been having the best time playing this.
Kirby's Avalanche feels
Now, this is just
worse
something
than
I-
Puyo Puyo Tetris, and one of these has the excuse of being on newer consoles with more latency. So I don't know what's up with the Kirby's Avalanche. All I know is Puyo Puyo 2 on the Genesis and Mean Bean Machine feel radically better to play.
Mean Bean Machine's just raw.
It has an amazing soundtrack and a hideous art style.
Yeah.
Speaking of puzzle games, I just think this is really funny. They're making a Overlord themed is it Picross or Picross?
Picross, because it's picture.
PyCon Cross.
Oh yeah, they're making an Overlord
Yes!
themed Picross.
Buying it.
Overlord being the anime series about
What? It's
Eins Ul Gaul, the big skeleton man who runs his own country that's his giant MMO dungeon that got
Oh
teleported
yeah, it's
to
got the girl with the big bap.
a real. Yeah, it has the crazy looking succubus girl named Albedo.
I thought this was going to be based on the fucking 360 era
Yeah.
game Overlord.
No.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be about that game with the goblins.
Yeah, what the fuck?
No, this is the anime series Overlord.
Well then.
Its name is like Picross of the Nazareth or something like that, because Nazareth is the big dungeon in Overlord.
Oh, I figured that's what they just called her chest.
It is
I showed you my Nazareth answer me.
Picross Lord of the Nazareth.
Oh.
Well, all the fun has been taken out of that name.
And they've crossed over with a bunch of stuff, so this is the weirdest one, because like the other ones made a lot more sense, like Pokemon, Hello Kitty, Kimono Friends, and this is like an isekai series starring a giant skeleton man.
He's cool.
Yeah, I have no idea.
But it will feature 100. It will feature 519 puzzles. It comes out worldwide on the 25th.
What's it on?
Switch, I think.
Switch gets a lot of Picross games.
I think Nintendo might own Picross.
Yeah, it makes sense. I don't think I've ever heard of it outside of Nintendo, so yeah.
Yeah, Nintendo owns the video.
Oh, I thought you were doing Darude-Sandstorm just now.
Well, Darude-Sandstorm is a song. You know what else has songs? Streets of Rage 4. It has songs
This is
by
sad.
Yuzo
You should feel
Koshiro.
bad.
Whoa.
More than just one song, so it's better than Soul Seraph.
Not hard, but thank you.
Motohiro Kawashima, who and they were both composers on the original Streets of Rage. It has Jet Set Radio's Hideki Naganuma, Yoko Shimamura from Kingdom Hearts, and Ninja Gaiden's Kaiji Yamagishi. It's a stacked composer lineup.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about the Ninja Gaiden guy in recent years at all. Has he been working?
I guess.
I'm excited for this now that I know that it has like a stellar staff of composers, because I feel like that's the single most important thing with this game.
It is really important. I'm not really sold on the art style, but if the music is good enough, it can get through that.
If the music and mechanics are good, ideal.
It better have a remix of Go Straight that blasts my dick off.
You are asking for the unreal.
It better have a remix of Go Straight that is not worse than the original version of Go Straight.
See, that we can do. They could actually get that guy on YouTube, Savage the Regime, to do a cover, and it would be better than the original. That's his bit. He takes a Genesis game, makes the soundtrack on Genesis hardware, and just makes it sound immensely better. It's real good. He actually did a cover of The Clock Tower from Aria of Sorrow recently. Ooh. It's really fucking good. But yeah, I'm pretty excited for this. I always argue for larger staffs when it comes to composers. Like, I want us to get back to the Sonic 3 days where it was 13 fucking composers. I mentioned this recently, and someone was like, that's how all retro games were. And I was like, no, not at all. Most of them have one.
Right?
I don't know what.
I try very hard not to remember that the developers who are making this also made Streets of Fury, which is a game where you can play as the nostalgia critic.
You need to try harder, clearly.
Oh, no.
And you're like, I try not to remember this, but I'm going to go ahead and let all of you know.
I'm going to infect you with my knowledge.
Well, yes, it's informative.
Fucking Feel shooting us with his flesh buds.
Yep.
This is terrible.
Just a little bit of a nightmare. Isn't .emu also doing the new Windjammers too?
Yes.
I think that
they're not developing this. They're just publishing it.
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking like that maybe they were developing it just because they both have a similar style, because they're both shooting for looks like Flash game like art.
They are developing Windjammers too, but they are not developing Streets of Rage 4.
Yeah. Well, at least in terms of stuff coming out of them, they got a lot of stuff going on between this, Windjammers 2, Final Fantasy 8. They're also working on that.
Weirdly enough, yeah.
Yeah, as it turns out, they had their hands on a lot of those old, like, porting over the older Final Fantasies.
Which is good or terrible. Who knows?
I mean,
yeah, emu is like emu is like fucking
a bird.
It's a coin flip.
A mixed bag.
Whether or not
I feel like there's no reason Final Fantasy VII should run as bad as it did on the PS4 Pro.
You are correct.
Like that was
Did
just
you play enough
upsetting.
of it though?
I think we played enough of it, KZ.
It's a void.
Yeah, it's true. That they must have been behind Final Fantasy IX too, which also had that.
Because I feel like that was worse than original hardware by a lot.
They patched the Switch version of Final Fantasy IX this week to fix a music bug, and I'm like, oh man, I guess there was a bug, wasn't there? It's the world map thing where you get into a battle and then it just resets the song. It doesn't continue it, so you just never hear most of that song
Ugh.
because you're constantly getting into fights.
Right.
Which 7 also had. They've recently had to go back and fix it on a lot of releases of older FF stuff. Japanese games sure are wacky. Hey, Phil, do you know of Japanese video games and news regarding them?
I like redemption arcs, and the one that Nippon Ichi Software of America is being forced to undergo because the alternative is death is really inspiring. Because a lot of companies will just choose death if given that as a choice. Like improve or die. Many have just chosen die.
Guess I'll die.
But Trails of Cold Steel 3 has been delayed until October 22nd. That is about a month. I think it's like 3 weeks. It's like 24-ish days, because I think it was like the 29th was originally its date. I'm happy that they're delaying something, because they used to never do that ever.
Yeah, apparently the original
Maybe
ship date
You can
was
feel it.
the same day as Dragon Quest XI S, Code Vein, and some other shit. I don't fucking... But I feel...
I mean, it's on a completely different platform from Dragon Quest XI S, so I
Okay,
doubt
so
that
this is
actually had
PS4
something to
only?
do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is PS4 only.
Oh, okay.
And ain't nobody scared of Code Vein.
It'll yeah, nobody's fucking afraid of
Bob,
Code
why do you
Vein.
keep persecuting clearly what's going to be a wonderful 6.5 out of 10?
Bob, look.
KZ, on your you said burst limit was an 8. On your scale, a 6.5 just stabs you in the kidney.
I called it an 8 out of 10 to upset people, Feel.
You know, we believe in being genuine here on this podcast platform, okay?
I'm going to attack you on this platform.
Then I will not offer you this platform to attack people on, because attacking
Oh,
me
no!
seems bad.
You've already gained my audience. It's all doomed now.
But it's amazing what you can do when your parent company is failing and you lost numerous partnerships because everybody hates you and the quality of your product sucks and you're synonymous with a joke. It's amazing the things you have to do to avoid death in those situations.
So I was
Like, become a good company.
I was following the Trails of Cold Steel 3 stuff. Just, when you're bored, you see stuff on your feed. And I know Kondo, like the big guy at Falcom, like came over here and was doing a lot of like AMAs and press stuff, like preview coverage for this game. And I was listening to the interview with EC Allies, and he just straight up calls out, yeah, we're doing everything to ensure that an Ys 8 situation never happens again.
That means we're standing over them with a bat.
Cool.
That Ys 8 situation was fucking unreal.
Yeah, like he was specifically calling it out and saying, yeah, we've worked with them, and they have... Like, he kind of threw them, rightfully under the bus, just saying, hey, this happened, they're doing their best.
I do like how their solution was get every single person from Xseed who worked on the first 2 Trails of Cold Steel games.
Yeah.
Just get all of them. Because apparently they don't have people that can be trusted.
I think it's really funny that the only people I heard be positive about the Ys 8 situation was the retro gaming channel My Life in Gaming, who I believe it was Try from that channel. He was like,
Big hole.
It reminds me of PS1 translations and how rough those were, so I'm okay with it. I believe is exactly what he
One,
said.
you're an idiot. One, you're a moron.
Hey, that's a little mean, don't you think?
I'm gonna feel.
Yes, it is. It's still fair.
I'm gonna feel really bad.
It's not, because those games, the back end of Ys 8 is the worst translation I have ever seen in a game that was released to retail in the United States. it becomes nonsensical.
You know, it could just be that he didn't even play that far.
He probably did.
He probably didn't. He's a busy
But
man.
also, you deserve to get mocked when the name of the area is in English in the Japanese version.
Yes.
And you still get it wrong.
Yeah, no, that was
When it came
really
out,
funny.
people were like, Archeozoic big hole. And then showed the Japanese version where it says, chasm of the Archeozoic era.
Yo, big hole's raw.
That's depressing.
It was really funny when they had to, get the VA redone, of course. And the VA
had to,
I've done this once, but I'm going to give it my best shot to give you the best thing I can do.
You know what? It was the script. If there was anything wrong with that dub, it was the script.
Right.
But has there ever been a case where they went, we have to retranslate and redub the game in a patch?
I can't think of
I think
anything other than Ease 8.
Right, I feel like it's the absolute worst. Like it had gone that wrong, and never before.
And you know what, Bob? You know what's great? This whole retranslating the game wouldn't have happened if people didn't get upset on twitter.gov.
That's true.
Getting upset on twitter.gov, it has results.
They also wrote to Falcom. Imagine being a niche Japanese company getting letters saying in very polite Japanese, yeah, the people who localized your game fucked up.
Yeah.
I agree. Complaining on Twitter can get things done. Except Pokemon.
Speaking of fucking up,
Dad, please shut up.
Yeah, except Pokemon. Yeah.
I will work 2 more Pokemon tweets into the next week. This will continue.
Your tweets don't make me upset.
Well, you know why?
This water looks like oil.
Here's why my tweets don't upset you. Because I'm not a fucking troglodyte, because I can express myself well, because I don't sit there and treat everything with the tone of, so we should start an attack campaign on this person's livelihood. Because fuck, man. People who get upset about stuff, sometimes they do it right, and other times they do it really, really, really fucking wrong.
All the people doing it wrong get the most retweets, so it's always there.
Yeah, isn't that tragic?
Example of doing it wrong: making a fake Twitter account with a fake name of an employee at Game Freak that you looked up, and then writing a fake story about how you are a woman who worked at Game Freak and Masuda sexually assaulted you.
That doesn't even
They
make...
put the National Dex hashtag in the tweets!
That doesn't even make fucking sense. That's like the most insane reaching bullshit ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one would ever believe
insane.
that.
Can you imagine this shit of, alright, I'm gonna fake this thing. Matsuda raped me. Bring back the National Dex! Priorities!
A Taco Bell employee raped me. Hashtag McRib.
Nacho fries!
Look, we're gonna get there in a couple years considering snarky brands on Twitter.
That's
Good.
true.
You know what's good to have when you have a giant persistent online game?
What?
A fucking public test server.
Oh, I was going to say good version control tools.
You know, where you put you put it somewhere that isn't the game and people can log in and see it. So you don't get situations like Fallout 76 this fucking week where they pushed out a new patch that ruined everything again.
What?
Just after they got all the people from E3 thinking that the game was good now and they should come back. Someone was convinced, right?
They have a Battle Royale mode that can't fit 100 players.
Man on screen, if Fallout 76 didn't exist, I never would have gotten laid. Long pause, I've never gotten laid. What?
Hey, this is a company you can trust.
Examples of glitches are items missing entirely, including very rare and hard to get items.
Mm-hmm.
Legendary mobs not dropping their items at all. And this isn't a glitch, but it made everybody mad. Rewards that give you premium currency changed to give you other things to encourage you to spend more money.
Games as a service is terrible. Fallout 76 is also terrible. What a fucking cross-section of hell.
I really hope this
Again.
game is not making them money.
Yeah.
I
probably
think
is.
not enough. I don't think it's making enough.
Everyone who stands for Fallout 76 is an enemy of humanity.
So, some of the worst shit is they have the premium currency shop, and then they would like debut items at half off to trick you into thinking it was a sale, like a big thing to go get. But it debuted at 50% off. So that's the price. And then they got caught for it because that's totally illegal in some places.
Yeah, that's what
then
happened.
They're like, all right, here's the price.
Let me explain, Bob. They
Okay.
they debut the item. It says underneath the item 50% off.
Right.
They then just take away the 50% off thing, and it's still the same price.
Oh.
The European Union has laws against this.
Yeah. I imagine.
Like they debut the item saying it's at a discount to make you want to rush and get it, but that was always the intended price.
That's scummy. That's almost as scummy as what Rockstar used to do during Steam sales, which is they would find out when a Steam sale is going to happen, then revert any games that had gone down in price, due to demand. As the game gets older, you lower its price. They would revert it back to $60 so it had a bigger discount when they discounted it to its sale price.
That explains
Wow.
why none of their games had a very appealing price during those sales.
right. But hey, it has a big number next to it. 80% off.
Wow, it's still way too much for something that old. Wow.
Wow.
1 million. Yeah, Fallout 76 is a terrible game. People who stand for it are doing harm. Stop it. It's a bad game. We don't want this condoned. Don't spend a cent in that game.
Do not
You can
believe
play
that
it.
the new
Just
single
don't-
player
just
is.
stop spending money on it.
Oh, man.
Bob, they have NPCs now.
Yeah,
I need to betray the rest of the human race.
Those 3 NPCs or whatever it is probably not going to change the game too much.
Welcome to the new era of GigaBoots where Dan says statements that make Phil look like he's being conservative. What's that? You play this video game, line up. We're about to execute you.
I think Phil
God.
said that before.
Oh, shit!
No, I haven't.
I'm gonna have to raise
I have
this-
been very careful.
If the,
The worst
What?
the worst I have ever said is that certain executives should be guillotined. That is different.
that's
I
no,
like the idea that you've been careful, which implies that you have some true potential we gotta be afraid of.
Bob.
He
all I'm,
detests his Bible he has to live by.
Bob, all I'm saying is if the percentage of any state's population reaches 51% Fallout 76 players,
Oh, no.
you better believe I'm hitting the button.
What button?
I like that the United States just has a button for each state.
Yes.
It's just
Look, here's what
evacuations from the
happens.
United States. It shoots us to
The
space.
Midwest is fucked. How do you detach that?
Oh, you fire
Here's
into
what
space.
happens. We're doing this.
And then fill it
We're
with
doing this
concrete.
podcast.
Yeah.
We're doing this podcast, and the news comes in. Fallout 76 players reach this amount, and me and Dan got to look to KZ, and we got to go. You should move to a small town, somewhere where the rule of law still exists. You will not survive here. You are not a wolf, and this is a land of wolves now.
Oh, man. Fallout 76,
Hey, Bob.
please
Hey, Bob,
stop
how you
showing up
doing?
in our news segment. Please stop
It's
showing
you
up.
and me, the sane people on this podcast.
The guy who
At least
stands
it
for
hasn't-
burst limit goes, I'm sane.
It's not calling
Burst
for
limit's
genocide.
bad, all right? I'm not willing to buy it. It's $25 on Amazon. The eBay listing gave me Senran Kagura games with Burst in the name.
No, they're better.
They are better. It's not
Maybe.
very hard.
I will also not buy those to test.
You should totally buy those to test. Vox bought some of those for her stream. She
Oh,
sure did play them on stream. Anyway, Fallout 76, please stop showing up in our news segment. You only make me angrier
It's been a
each
while.
time.
It's been good. It's been good for like 3 months.
They put out the candy trail to lure people in so they could break it all again.
I mean, we had to watch a press conference where it was featured.
Oh yeah, fuck that. I take it back. Fuck you. You were in that Bethesda conference.
Yeah.
That makes you a war criminal.
And it was disgusting.
They created the first-person shooter, and they're creating VR, and they're creating
and a cloud
streaming.
service.
They're
Stadia
creating
too.
streaming. Orion.
Yeah, no. What a down note to end on. But KZ, let's talk about what you've got coming up. You sure did already talk about what you're doing on Friday, which is now in the past. Do you have any other plans?
I'm continuing Final Fantasy 15 each day. We're in the back half of that game, making a good amount of progress. On Friday, I'm starting Fire Emblem Three Houses because it comes out, and I'm excited to jump into that game. Yeah, that's it.
Bob, what do you have coming out in the next week?
Nothing.
Not a...
I might play like Fire Emblem game though.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
That comes out Tuesday?
No, it comes out Friday, so it won't be
so
before
it won't
we record
even,
this.
it won't even
Yeah,
be
all
before the next
Nintendo
big thing.
games come out Friday now.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's very cool.
I mean, Nintendo games have always come out on Friday.
Except Luigi's Mansion, they're like Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Feel, what do you have coming out in the next week?
You know what? I'm not going to make any promises of anything because shit keeps happening every time I do. So if something happens, it'll happen. Follow me on Twitter if you want to be on the up and up on that.
Yeah. We are almost done with settling now that I've completely rearranged everything in the living room. And I'm going to be working on that OSSE versus FrameMeister video over the next week. So don't expect anything unless it's that. And stay tuned. I'm stopping the recording.
Yay.
Okay, cool.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Big Think Dimension. This show, like our other podcasts, is only possible with the generous time our co-hosts have given to us and the equipment we've bought to make it higher quality and easier to produce. Please consider supporting our podcast series on our GigaBoots podcast Patreon and look forward to more gamer premonitions and Big Think Dimension in the future. This GigaBoots video was brought to you by our magnanimous executive producers, Vincent Poverk, Nicholas Cameron, E. Lee Broyles, Brendan O'Sullivan, Star Falcon, Spaceman Spiff, Danny Richardson, Shadow in the Darkness, Dryzart, and Red Blaze 27. And also these guys. Head on over to patreon.com/gigaboots today so you can try to be as cool as these people.